Good afternoon, guys. Shout out to my awesome fifth grade class. This is Miss No, and we're going to do prime and composite numbers today. So let's start. All right. So we have, we're going to do prime and composite numbers. Let's make it nice and big. Oh. All right. Okay, so we are going to do a very quick graphic organizer. So we're going to start the graphic organizer with tree map. Okay, so we're going to do types of numbers. Types of numbers. So that is we have types of numbers. I'm going to make that prettier. So we have two types of numbers that we're learning today. So we have our composite number. And then we have our prime number. Okay. Composite numbers are numbers that has more than 3 factors. Composite numbers are numbers that has more than 3 factors. Prime number only has 2 factors. Excuse me. Only has 2 factors. So let's do some examples. Let me show you guys some examples. Okay. So let's make composite red. So an example of a composite number, let's use number 12. So factors are 2 numbers that multiply to get a product of 12, such as 1 times 12. Those are two factors of 12, 1 and the 12. Another 2 factors of 12 would be 2 times 6, because 2 times 6 equals 12. So now we have 4 factors of 12, but there are also another factor, which is 3 times 4. So now we have 6 factors. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 factors. And to draw a factor, let's say we have, you might see, if it's on a grid paper, you might see something that looks like this. 2 by 6. So 2 by 6. And there should be 12 little squares. And if I want to draw my 3 by 4, whoop, it'll be something like this. And there should be 12 little squares in there too. So since this one has 6 factors, that means it's 3 or more, which makes it a composite number. So now let's look at a prime number. So let's use 7 as an example. 7, the only 2 factors that multiply to make a product of 7 is 1 times 7, or 1 times itself, which is 7. Okay? So that means 7 only has, 2 factors. Since it only has 2 factors right here, that makes it a prime number. And usually prime number only have 4, 3, 6. It's always going to be 1 times whatever itself is. Here is a trick that I use to write prime. So I would write prime as PR1 times me, because it's always going to be 1 times me, 1 times itself. So 7's factor is 1 times me, which is 1 times 7. Make sense? So those are the 2 types of number that we're going to be learning this week. Composite number, which has more than 3 factors, or prime number, which only has 1 times me, so it only has 2 factors. But 1 is not prime or composite, because 1 only has 1 times 1, which you see that prime has to have 2 factor. So 1 is neither prime or composite. So we're going to talk more about that in class next week. All right. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in class. Have a good weekend. Love y'all.